comments over here?
There could be, but you can check them. Okay, I think we're good. Hello everyone, we're back. It's been 7 days, and it's 6 days, 7 days, and it's time for another audio live stream. As always, very excited to share what we're cooking tonight. We are doing probably the simplest thing that gets screwed up over and over and over again, which is cooking dried pasta, and we are going to make an extremely basic, extremely delicious, filling marinara sauce from a minimum of 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients is all that's needed, and we're going to do that with stuff, of course, that we just had stacked away in the pantry. Going to talk about some fun things tonight. Going to talk about other things we can add to our pasta. We're going to talk about basil. We're going to talk about prepping garlic. I'm looking at my list over here. I got a little cheat sheet. We're upping our game. We're going to talk about canned tomatoes and how to choose those. Lots of fun topics. So please stay with us, follow along, and of course, if you want the double camera angle, if you want to see my face and you want to see all of this over here at the same time, go to Abio's YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, search for Abio Kitchen. Subscribe, please. Yeah. Search for Abio Kitchen. You'll see the live streams going on right now. You could watch on your phone and watch on YouTube at the same time. It would be a crazy experience, but you could do it if you wanted to. So what do we got, G? Do we have anyone with us yet this evening?
We do.
Okay. Well, let's get started with a discussion of the things that I already did in advance so people don't have to watch me do them. So the first thing I did was I slivered some garlic. I slivered a lot of garlic, and this is one of the most important ingredients to make our marinara sauce. Second, I picked some basil leaves, and I'll talk about basil while our pasta sauce is cooking, so hold on this guy here. Next, tomatoes. Hold on that for a moment. We'll come back to it. Got some Parmesan cheese. Got some oregano. Both of those are optional. Got the dried pasta over here. We're a gluten-free household, so we're using Banza spaghetti made from chickpeas tonight. But the principles are all the same. In fact, with gluten-free pasta, not overcooking it and not undercooking it is even more important, because when you overcook it, it's really, really horrible, as opposed to just marginally bad. So we're going to talk about not overcooking this pasta.
Stop dissing gluten-free pasta.
I'm not dissing gluten-free pasta. I actually like this pasta, even though they're not paying me to say this. However, I just think that gluten-free pasta is really hard to cook well, because when you overcook it, it turns to mush a lot faster than pasta that's made from flour, as opposed to rice flour and other things. Next thing we got over here is our pot of already boiling water, which I started on earlier, again, so we do not have to watch water boil. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do the sauce, start on the sauce, put the pasta in, talk about some other stuff, and then we'll go from there. So first thing we need to do is get our pan on medium-high.
What pan is that?
This is the sauté pan. The sauté pan is perfect for making pasta for between 2 and 4 people. One of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is how you should finish your pasta in the sauce. It adds lots of extra flavor to the pasta. It gives the pasta a chance to absorb all of the sauce. And the sauté pan is perfect for doing it because it's a little deeper and it has straight walls. You could use the non-stick for it.
Where do you find these pans?
AudioKitchen.com, of course.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Are these part of the set, or are they different?
All of these are part of the set.
Wow.
The set is the stock pot, the sauté pan, the small nonstick, the large nonstick, and the saucepan.
So we're using 2 out of 5.
We're using 2 out of 5 tonight.
Okay, cool.
We could use the large nonstick for this, but I prefer the sauté because of the straight walls, and it's going to have a bunch of liquid in it. Less filling, less mess, although it's me, so the chances of there being less mess are slim to none.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah.
Pan back on our hot stove. First ingredient in our minimum 4 ingredient marinara is olive oil. We're going to do a generous amount of olive oil. I'm going to coat the entire bottom of the pan. This is going to end up being about 1/3 of a cup. I'll bring this over so you guys can just have a little look. Be generous with your olive oil. A lot of this, it's all going to soak in. It's all going to combine. Don't worry, it seems like a lot of oil. It's actually not. Olive oil. While that's heating up, I'm going to open the cans of tomatoes. And I'm going to talk about tomatoes for a second. So, Eric Wall taught me this. Did not know this, but I looked it up and he's absolutely right. So when you go to the store to buy tomatoes for tomato sauce, what you want are crushed whole tomatoes. You don't want diced tomatoes. The reason you don't want diced tomatoes, even though it might make sense that you would want smaller pieces to begin with, is that diced tomatoes have a bunch of calcium chloride in them, and that keeps the pieces of tomato together in the can so they don't all turn to mush, because people who want diced tomatoes want them to retain their form. But all that calcium chloride makes it really hard for the tomatoes to break down during cooking, especially when we're making a quick sauce like a marinara. So don't buy diced tomatoes. Buy crushed tomatoes, and the only ingredients that should be in it are the ingredients that are in this one, which are tomatoes, tomato puree, salt, and citric acid. That's it. 4 ingredients in a 4-ingredient marinara. Okay, our oil is hot. I'm going to set this can of tomatoes to the side for a second. Before I put this in, I'm going to open the other can because I'm likely to screw this up. Otherwise, I'm using 2 15-ounce cans for this amount of sauce. It's probably too much for 2 people, or it's enough for a monster like me and G. But it's for like, normally for like 3 or 4 people. It's good. It's enough sauce. All right. This is hot. Again, I'm putting my hand over the top. I can feel the heat radiating off of it. I can also drop water droplets in it, and if they splatter, I know that my oil is hot enough. Ton of garlic going in to the oil right now. Big step here. We do not want our garlic to burn. Don't let your garlic burn. It will taste acrid and gross in the sauce. So we're going to stir this around quickly. And as soon as it starts to get translucent and fragrant, I'm going to add the sauce. Really no way around this. The sauce is going to splatter because we're putting a bunch of water essentially into a hot pan of oil. So there's going to be some splatter.
So don't wear your nice clothes.
Don't wear your nice clothes. Wear a nice apron, perhaps.
Are you selling those aprons?
We're not selling these aprons yet. However, if there's special requests from the audience, we could certainly add them.
I'm sure the audience
Tomatoes
will.
going in.
Oh!
Splatter. One more.
So would you use 1 cup per person, or what's your ratio here?
1 can per person is it's like maybe a half to 3/4 of a can of crushed tomatoes per person for reasonable size serving. But I'm going to cook this whole thing of pasta, which is supposed to serve 4 normal people. So this is for one whole
serve
thing.
You and me.
Yeah, basically. About 30 ounces. All right, so now what we've got going here is just crushed tomatoes, oil, and garlic. And we want this to cook down for a really long period of time. This is all we need for a marinara sauce, is crushed tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil, and salt at the end. Those are your 4 ingredients that are required. But the beautiful thing about this is that there's so many other things that we can add to bring out flavors, to mix it up. So I'm going to talk about that in a second.
I think your delivery's here.
I think a delivery's here. Do you want me to take over the phone?
No.
You want me to go get it?
Go get it.
Okay.
Maybe he's not going to ring the doorbell.
Oh yeah, he's here.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, we're doing a live cooking show.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I would invite you in, but it's the time of COVID.
This is the time of COVID, man.
I'm sorry.
It's the time for us to do cooking shows at home.
Very excited though. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That's a treat.
Yeah.
It was great to see you come on. I know what was it, like a week or 2 ago we crossed it off?
Yeah.
It was so funny. I remember I was like super frantic trying to get stuff out. And my friend who was quarantined with me was helping me with deliveries. He'd already done the delivery, and I got the address on my list. I came up here and I saw you working in the garden. I was like,
What is he doing?
I don't have his stuff.
do.
Testing it out.
We're actually in the middle of it right now, so I gotta get back to
Hey,
that.
Drew!
But you know what? I love it, and I wish I could invite you in next time.
Next time, how many next times we don't have? We're on until tomorrow.
It is. Oh, but next time I can at least sit out on the porch and like have a proper conversation with you.
That's a great one. You have a beautiful house over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Bye, Drew.
Okay, we're back. We had a delivery from a friend bringing us some wine, which is always nice. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about sauce.
You were talking about how you didn't want to burn the sauce.
And then I walked away from it. No, but once we put the oil and the garlic and the tomatoes in, the only thing that matters now is that this cooks down. Plus all the other ingredients, which I'm going to get back to. But before I do that, we're going to put the pasta in. This is our first tip for cooking dried pasta. Use way more water than you need. You do not want the pasta to clump together. This is a Avio stock pot full of water to the very brim for what seems like a small amount of pasta, but we don't want it to clump together, so we're using way more water than we need. Second tip of cooking dried pasta really well. Use a ton of salt. Salt your water should taste like the ocean. Why do you want your water to taste like the ocean? Why are you laughing at me? Taste the water, man. It's gotta taste like the ocean.
Who tastes ocean water?
Why? When you go swimming in the ocean, you never taste ocean water?
You're just like drinking ocean water
Sometimes
while you're sleeping.
I'm not drinking it, but sometimes my mouth is open while I'm in the water.
Like busy.
That's disgusting to you? Yeah, I'm like a dog. It's true. I'm like the dog. I'm going to use like a strong 3 pinches of salt into this water. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want the pasta to take on the salt flavor, a little bit of salt flavor. And in some sauces, although not this one, because this one we're cooking down, we actually need the option of adding more liquid. Like if we were, for example, like maybe a bolognese or a vodka sauce or carbonara, like some other sauces, we would actually use the pasta water as the liquid in the sauce. Why? Because the pasta water is going to have lots of starch and stuff in it from the pasta, which makes it perfect for adding liquid and thickening sauces.
I have a question.
Yes.
So could you put a lid on the saute?
No.
To prevent splatters?
No, the key to this meal is splatters. No, you can't, because we need this to evaporate.
So we need to get as many splatters as possible.
We need all
over
of
the
splatters.
kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
I'm glad you were able to clarify that, though, for everyone.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I was also trying to sell the fact that it does come with a lid.
Yeah, I appreciate that, too, but no
Yeah.
lid tonight. Can't have
But
it.
it does come with a lid.
It does come with a lid,
Yeah.
yes. Next tip of cooking dried pasta, tip number 3, is don't overcook it. In fact, we're going to undercook it on purpose because we're going to finish it in the sauce, like we talked about before. So this says 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to take that 8 to 10 minutes and I'm going to say 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Start.
You're actually timing it.
I'm actually timing it
Wow.
tonight because this is important.
But this is the first time you've ever
This
actually
is the
timed
first
it.
time I've ever timed anything on live stream for the people.
Right.
And the reason I'm actually using a timer is because it is so important to try your dried pasta that's cooking while you're cooking it early so that you don't overcook it. So while I'm blabbering on and talking about other things, there's no way that I would remember what time I put it in. So timer, very important tonight. All right, now we have that going, so we've got a second to talk about pasta sauce additions. Yes, so this is, again, garlic, crushed tomatoes, and olive oil. That's it. I'm going to add a couple of other things to spice it up and give you guys some other ideas for things you could add as well. So, first thing that's really nice, some fresh basil. I'm going to use this for garnish also. Fresh basil from our little kitchen basil plant, which I'm attempting to not kill. Did some research on the internet, and the internet says that when you pick basil, you're supposed to pick it from above the little baby leaves that are growing off the stalk. And if you pinch it from above there, like this, or, not like that. Don't do it like that. Kind of like that. Then it'll grow. No, that did go well. Maybe I should have cut it. I don't know. In any case, if I leave the little baby leaves, and I only take this part, apparently this is going to grow back.
But aren't these baby leaves?
Yeah, those are baby leaves too. But I
How
want
do you
these
know which baby leaves?
I'm leaving the bottom set of baby leaves on the stalk.
The lowest baby leaf. Okay.
And if all goes well, next week we'll check in on Mr. Basil, and it'll still be alive, and some of these stems that I picked off earlier will have regrown, possibly.
Stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned, folks. So, that basil, great addition to this.
Why is that getting so foamy?
Because it's chickpea pasta.
Thing?
That is a Bonza thing. I'm going to turn that down. Thank you for noticing, or that would have made a mess too. It looks
Betty
like
shots.
Yes, Betty shots. So we added basil. Basil makes this delicious. Let's add a couple of other things. First, oregano. I like this nice oregano that comes in a grinder.
Oregano buds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fancy oregano. It comes in a grinder, which is nice too. It's really, 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 really fragrant. So I'm going to do maybe a teaspoon or so of oregano in here. But again, exact measurements don't really matter. You can see what that looks like for quantity. And then I'm going to add the Parmesan cheese rind. So we go through a lot of cheese in this house. It's probably our number one food group, like on the food pyramid. Cheese is at the bottom. And then what's that? Maybe fruit. It would be like one level up. And coffee. And
almond milk is probably something.
Almond milk and coffee kind of go together. They get their own square. Yeah. And then
cheese is definitely.
But I'm just trying to think, like fruit, vegetables are one level above cheese on the pyramid.
Yeah.
And then maybe everything else, fats, proteins.
Like cheesy pasta.
Cheesy pasta is its own square too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cheese
so you
rind.
Just save the rinds?
You can't eat this by itself. Well, you can. It just doesn't taste very good. But for adding richness to something like this, we go into the sauce.
Oh, Helene asked where chocolate is on the pyramid.
Oh, good question.
Chocolate is definitely on the pyramid. So thank you for reminding me of that. As is wine.
As is wine, chocolate, cheese, fruit, vegetables. I think and coffee.
We have a question.
Almond milk.
What is the trick to reduce the foam?
What is the trick? All I did was turn the heat down.
But there's not a way to cook without foam?
I don't know. If someone knows, that would be a cool tip. I don't actually have the answer. Maybe the Google knows. But I find that this like chickpea pasta foams a lot more than regular pasta.
I agree.
So I wouldn't be too worried about it. Just keep an eye on it so it doesn't end up everywhere. So we've got our cheesy rind in. I'm leaving this heat, by the way, around medium. Like I want this to cook down, but I don't want it to boil so hard that it splatters all over the kitchen. Like I just want to make like a 5 out of 10 mess, not a 10 out of 10 mess. Because I spent a nice amount of time cleaning the kitchen before this live stream.
Just for you guys.
Yeah, I always clean the kitchen for you guys. And for her too, but you guys appreciate it more, maybe.
I appreciate a clean kitchen.
Yeah, it is nice.
So are you going to melt that whole cheese rind?
So this cheese rind is going to melt a little bit. I'll show you what it looks like now. You can see it's starting to fall apart just a bit. But this is just going to sit in here until we're done, and then I'm going to pull it out. Okay. And you can reuse it in another sauce another day if I want.
Cheese rind?
You could reuse it if you wanted to. I think this might be the last of the cheese rind. We finished the delicious Parmesan for lunch, of course. And then I've got another little hunk over here that I'm going to grate on top because more cheese. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. All right, so while this is going, let's see. Inspiration for other things that you could put into this sauce. So, obvious one is I could have added meat at the beginning. Like if I wanted to do like a very, very, very simple meat sauce, I could have started with ground beef.
We have a
question.
What does the cheese rind add?
The cheese rind adds richness and flavor to this. You're going to start to get like hints of Parmesan in this sauce, which is always a good thing because cheese.
Okay. So we could add meat. We could add Beyond Beef.
You could do Beyond Beef, yes.
We could add eggplant.
Yes. So let's talk about the hold please, folks. Hold please.
I mean,
See, this
set
is
a timer and everything.
This is
so
why
we
we
can't
set
go
the
any over
timer.
it, yeah.
Right. We set the timer for a reason. We can't screw this up. Let's take this over here. Let's put a little. I don't ever know which way.
Ongoing debate about how the sink should be set up.
The sink should be set up not this way, but okay. It's good. It's great. It's great.
So don't trust the packaging?
Don't trust the packaging. This pasta is still too hard. We wouldn't want to eat it right now, but that is exactly what we want for the sauce.
Wow.
So.
Oh, that's wow. Okay.
Wow.
You're just gonna just scoop it out like
I'm
that.
just scooping it out.
Okay.
With the strainer. Gonna make only a marginal mess. Pasta's going directly into the sauce.
Wow.
Look at that. Easy to get pasta.
Do you have one of those?
I do not own one.
A kitchen tool you don't have?
I don't own it.
Oh my gosh. I guess I know what someone's getting for their birthday.
I got 95% of it out, so we're all good. And now I don't want to crush my pasta, like I don't want to break it apart, so I am going to just kind of twirl it into the sauce here.
As to make more mess.
As to make more mess,
yes.
Yeah. And my sauce ratio to pasta ratio here is quite high. This is a lot of sauce for the amount of pasta that we cooked. We probably could have gotten away with like a can and a half or a can and a quarter, and that would have been more than enough. But I like lots of sauce on my pasta, just like I like lots of dressing on my salad. You just like both of those things?
I'm going to debate. Do you like it saucy? Do you like it with too much dressing? Do you like to eat wet salad? Salad's so wet with dressing that it feels wet while you eat it. Let us know.
I think we talked about that during Caesar Salad Week, and everyone unanimously said I was wrong.
Yeah, everyone said you were wrong on the Caesar salad. So let's find. I mean, that looks like soup.
It's not, because we don't need to pull out we don't have to pull out more sauce. We'll be able to twist, pull out pasta, plate it, and leave sauce in there.
Okay.
And continue this mess. I was rambling about something too before. But
you were saying what else could we put in there?
Oh, right. Really quickly before we get to the question. So at the beginning, when I did the olive oil and the garlic, before we put in the garlic, if you want to add other things like mushrooms or eggplant or bell peppers or ground beef or Beyond Beef or ground pork or whatever you decide you want in your sauce, do that right after you do the oil. Then put in the garlic, of course, because we don't want our garlic to burn. And then after that, add your sauce. Like you want to basically put the garlic and then the tomatoes in once whatever you've put in first has cooked down and cooked through, especially if it's meat. If it's ground beef, you need to make sure that's cooked through.
Pausing.
Question.
Pausing. Oh, we're back. Okay, sorry.
Questions from the audience.
Will there be an obvious strainer in the future?
There should be an obvious strainer in the future. It's a good
What
tool.
type of strainer would you
I would do something that's in between this and maybe this and a spider, which is hard to describe. It is a you know those pasta sometimes kitchen utensil sets, not this one, come with like a screw looking thing that has spikes coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I would do one that's halfway in between that and this, so that it's big enough so that you can like really get big scoops of pasta.
So it's almost like a spoon strainer.
A sprainer?
A sprainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do. Any more questions?
Anyone else have any other questions?
Do we get a salty question?
Yeah. How many others like Jay in his black t-shirt? Loving the wardrobe change here in Las Vegas.
Oh.
We had someone else say the spider is a Chinese kitchen tool.
Okay. That makes sense.
Fact.
Fun fact. That makes a lot of sense.
I like your black shirt.
Thank you.
I think it's a nice change from the nude shirt. The previous shirt was making you appear a little nude. And there's already a naked chef.
Let's be honest. I heard the feedback from the audience. I got feedback secondhand. I listened. and I hope that we've improved as a
I don't
result.
know how I feel about the jeans though. Like, I mean, it just feels like you're trying because, like, I haven't worn real pants in like a month, and
Well,
so
I don't want to wear shorts. No
has
one wants to
anyone
see the
else
chicken
worn
legs.
real pants in the last month?
No.
Let us know.
I think I know what time it is.
Is it dinner time?
It's plating time,
Oh, sorry.
which precedes dinner time, but
Got
only
it.
a couple of
Mhm.
minutes. All right. No, you're going minimal sauce, so we're gonna do minimal sauce for you. I'm on.
So how do
a
you
lot of
get
pressure
how do
here.
you get that swirl? You know, that you see in
Well,
the restaurants.
I'm not
like,
very good at it, if we're
Okay.
being honest. I'm very poor at it. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to
Okay.
do my best. And it requires one of these and one of these. And we need to grab a hunk of pasta, twirl it around, twirl it around, twirl it around, twirl it around. That didn't work very well because I didn't get a big enough hunk. Then go under it with the... No. See, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a twirl, but I'm not really getting as much of a twirl as I want. I kind of blame the pasta because the pasta's not really staying together. Somebody on the Instagram wants to help me out here. That's cool. It's a little more elongated than I would have liked, but it's not the worst. You're not buying it.
I mean, it's okay. That's more of like a scooping action right there.
Well, I'm
but-
trying to twirl it, but these strands of pasta have broken apart, unfortunately. This could be better. This could be a better plating. This could be better, folks. That's better. Wouldn't you say?
I want a really like beautiful twist, but you probably only get that when it's faked. You know?
When it's what?
It's fake,
No.
yeah.
I think if I had more skills, I could have done beautiful twist.
Okay.
Okay. But of course.
Someone says, "We love your pans. It's honestly our go-to at home." Thank you, Vanessa.
That's awesome.
Exciting.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. Glad to hear it. So lots of cheese, yes, because
I like cheese.
because the G likes cheese, and the more cheese
the
the
audience
better.
demands cheese.
And maybe so much cheese that we can't even see the pasta underneath it.
Like I want to go to a restaurant again, and when they say when on
Never,
the cheese,
never,
just not
ever.
ever say when.
Never when. And maybe a couple of fresh sprigs of basil for the top here for a little
Fancy,
little
yeah.
garnish.
Wow.
little garnish. Let's go right there. What do you think? What do you think?
That's pretty. We gotta bring it over.
Yeah, I'll bring it over. I'm gonna show it to the YouTubers out there. Okay, so this is the question. It's the same question every week.
Looks good.
Would you eat it?
I would eat it.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, we are
going to be eating
are
it.
going to eat it.
Less sauce, more sauce. I don't know if that looks like a lot of sauce.
No, they both have very minimal sauce on them
Would
because
you
I didn't want.
spoon out more sauce onto your saucy one?
The truth of the matter is that as soon as this live stream is over, I'm going to take whichever one of these plates Geneva does not choose, and I'm going to put more sauce on it for
I'll
myself.
put more sauce on it. Maybe people
Which
like
one do
more
you choose?
sauce.
Which one do you
Well,
want?
I like it pretty, so I'll take this one.
Okay, you can take that one over there.
I'll take this one over. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, you got it?
I got
All right, cool. And then I'm gonna just go over here and do a little doctoring of this guy. I'm gonna add some more sauce. Yes. Just take these guys, put these guys on top.
Less
There we go.
beautiful, but supposedly more tasty.
More tasty for me.
More
Less tasty for you.
Yeah. So we had a question on
Please.
what are you going to be cooking next week? John likes more sauce.
John, yeah.
There's some people on the sauce side this week. So
Ah.
I do appreciate that people are conflicted on this one.
Yeah.
The Caesar salad debate
Was-
was heavily unrightly
It was.
dressed.
It was.
But the pasta
Also,
sauce,
remember the rinsing of the rice incident?
everyone rinses rice. That's not a thing.
The rinsing of the rice incident
That's
was
just gross.
Yeah, that was
That's just
that was
that
lesson
was in our first
that was
live
lesson
stream. We
learned.
were learning.
lesson
Yeah.
learned.
All right, what's for dinner next week?
So you guys are getting a sneak preview here on Instagram, but our skill for next week, which we're excited about,
How do you get the skill?
The skill is sent out over email every week on Tuesday morning. So if you're not on our email list already, please go to audiokitchen.com, scroll to the footer in the bottom, and sign up for our newsletter. We send out a skill followed by a recipe, and then a live stream demoing the recipe every week. This marinara and pasta was sent on Tuesday. We're cooking it live tonight. Next week, we we have some ideas. We haven't decided yet, but one possibility is fried rice. Again, sticking with the theme of pantry staples, things that we are likely to have in our kitchens right now. There's also been a frequent, repeated request for mac and cheese. I don't want to disappoint people too much longer. I'm also conscious of not wanting to do pasta every single week. And
maybe it should be like a double 1 week. Because I've also requested pad thai.
You have also requested pad thai, yes.
And I have not gotten that repeatedly.
I would say that my pad thai skills are not.
You keep having a claim that there's not the proper lemons or
limes.
Right.
I don't have the right limes.
The right limes.
Yeah. I mean, I could use regular limes, but I don't have the right limes.
Ooh, interesting. We have, what about wall grilled cheeses?
Ooh, grilled cheese is good.
We
do have really good gluten-free bread.
We have what's wrong with pasta every week from Brianna. I agree.
Okay, yes, that's probably fair. As long as the audience isn't getting bored of pasta every week, then I'm cool with that.
No one can get bored of pasta every week.
All right.
We should all be as lucky to eat pasta.
How about you cook the mac and cheese pasta next week? And I stay
behind
the camera.
We have had a request for
a role reversal.
A role reversal, a Sadie Hawkins cook-off, if you will, where I cook and Jonathan films. However,
lots of claps on Instagram if you want to see that.
Yeah, lots of claps if you'd like to see that. However, it should be noted, I have zero cooking skills.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I mean, if I can do it, truly anyone can do it.
1 pot mac and cheese.
I'm into the low cleanup, which is why I've made so many comments about the splattering.
I'm just excited if you take on this challenge for the moment where I can.
Someone says he would only get the top of your head. Yes, story of my life. Okay, thank you.
True. I am excited for the moment where, if you decide to take on this challenge, you stand here and grate cheese for like 20 minutes and curse at me for this challenge.
I think you need to that's one of those live stream activities where you grate all the cheese and I have the glory work of just sprinkling it on.
Like a cheese fairy?
Like a cheese fairy.
What if I grate half of it and you have to grate half of it? It's a compromise.
I'm already working out a lot, I don't know if I need the extra strength.
I don't know, those 2-pound weights in the living room are probably not going to do it like this cheese grater.
They're 3 pounds,
so
yes.
I stand corrected. I don't want to be perceived as insulting that living room workout. It seems like it's going nicely.
I mean, you're doing it too, so
Don't tell people. Don't tell people.
All right, any more questions here? Shall we go eat? We had a consensus that they would also eat it, so that's always good. We've had requests for next week.
Well, people, I want people to
John's impressed with the 3 pounds. Thanks, John. Appreciate the support.
I want people to go make this before our live stream next week, and then come back and tell us how it goes.
So they need share a pic, tag audio, perhaps?
No, share a pic, tag audio, text it to us, whatever you want to do. Send it to us over email. This is so simple. It's crushed tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and a few other optional things that I threw in. Everyone should be able to make this, and everyone should be able to taste how great homemade marinara is relative to the stuff that you get in a can from the store.
In their audio pan.
If it's any pan, you can
no.
cook it in any pan.
Oh gosh, no.
Okay, fine. You can only cook it in an audio pan, or we don't want to see it. If you don't own an audio pan, buy one now.
Thank you.
You won't regret it. See you guys next week.
Ciao.
Bye. And